All right, and good morning, and welcome to today's session of Truly Foundation and A Course in Miracles with your host and guide and coach and teacher and friend, Oliver Blue. I'm delighted to be here. I hope you are. This is a great moment to be aware of being aware. It's a great moment to notice what you're noticing. When we realize that it is our awareness and our awareness alone that gives us the ability to be conscious. It gives us the ability to experience all things through awareness. Without it, we can have no experience, we can have no knowing, we could have no knowledge. Without awareness, we could have no insight. We could we could have no imagination, we could have no intuition, we could have no memory, no perception uh, without awareness. Awareness is everything. I'm going to say it again. Awareness is everything. Without it, nothing happens. Without it, nothing happens. It's just like static energy. It's like static energy. Until there is an awareness that there is existence, nothing happens. And the mere fact that you and I are aware of you and we are aware of all of the sensations, all of the events, all of the activities, all of the experiences, all of the relationships, that we are aware of life itself. It is that awareness that we share with each other and that we share with the source of all creation. It is awareness. It is the essential nature or the essential self that we are. It is the essential self in all creation. Just look around you and you look at the things that are not animated. Look at the chair you're sitting in or the desk that you might be sitting at. You look at the table, you look at the book, you look at the mouse, you look at all these objective things that are inanimate. Inanimate means what? They have no awareness of themselves or of any other thing. It is humanity that has been made, that has been created in the imagination and in the likeness and in the very nature of life itself, that is experiencing awareness and knowing that it exists. The fact that you know that you are, and you are absolutely sure of that. You may not know why you are or for the purpose that you are. You may not understand your being. But the one thing that all of us are absolutely sure of is that we do exist, that we are, or that I am. And it is that I am, or it is that awareness that allows you to be conscious, that allows you to move energy, that allows you to think, that allows you to feel, that allows you to perceive. It is that awareness that makes us just like our Creator. Creator and creation are one. They are created out of the same oneness. They are created out of the same substance. And I believe that the core of that substance is awareness, because without it, we are oblivious, or we don't even exist without awareness. And it is our awareness, it is our nature, it is our creation. This is what the Creator created by extending or sharing it and calling it I am. And here you are. It began with a thought or an idea. And so here we are, one with this awareness. Here we are, like the foundation for all activity. We're the foundation. We're the cause of everything. We're not an effect, but we are the cause. And so that is an enviable place to be in. Just like, there's a scripture reference in Hebrews, in the book of Hebrews in the New Testament, that says the angels asked the question, what is man? What is this man? Why is God so enamored by this man, by this creature called humanity? He say, who is this man that thou art mindful of him? Who is this man that thou art mindful of him? Why is God so enamored by this creation of humanity? Who is man that thou art mindful of him? Who is this man? The scripture refers to this man as the Son of God, or the creation of God. So when it uses the word son, don't be taken away by gender, because in creation there is no gender. Before there was time, before there was any form, but there was creation, which was you, because you existed before you was formed in your mother's womb. You were in existence without a body. So your true self is bodiless. Who we really are, we are bodiless creations of God, which is awareness. That has the ability to imagine, that has the ability to create, that has the infinite intelligence to create just like the Creator. That's why you see references in a lot of the spiritual books to humanity being co-creators. In other words, we create right alongside, or right along with our Creator. In fact, our creating is not separate and apart from God creating, but it's one creation in the same, because there's only one of us, and God is, and there is nothing else. Therefore, all that God created, and all that God created is you and me. We are a part of this one creation of God. And today we're going to continue our journey in this section of A Course in Miracles, where we're in this new part that's called What is Creation? And if you missed my last recording, we did a we did an introduction to this new section, which the next 10 lessons are going to support and further expand our awareness and understanding concerning this idea of creation. What is it? What is it? The Course gives us an entire lesson here on what is creation. Because our idea of creation, in many cases, when we hear the word creation, we think about the one source. We think about the one God. We think about that which is responsible for everything. We also have this idea about creation, is that creation has to do with taking something other than the source and bringing something into form. That's our natural idea of creation. But what did the Course say? What does the Course say? What does the Course in Miracles say about what is creation? And if you can remember, I'm just going to do a rundown here. It said creation is the sum of all the thoughts of God. It's the sum total of all the thoughts of God. That's what creation is. And that all the thoughts of God in number are infinite, meaning you can't find a beginning and you cannot find an end to all the thoughts of God. That means that God's thoughts are continuous. God just didn't have 6 thoughts. And at the end of those 6 thoughts, that was it. No, God is infinite. It says that God is infinite. We all can embrace that reality, that the source of life is infinite. It has no beginning and it has no end. It is this ever expanding source of life that never stops, that never begins, that never ends. In reality, life has no ending. In reality, God has no ending. And so it says that the sum of all God's thoughts, which are infinite in number, this is what creation is. Every thought of God. It says that creation is everywhere and without limits. That creation not only pervades, but it penetrates and it permeates all the spaces of existence. It's everywhere present. That creation is omnipresent, meaning it's always present, or it's always in the present. You can't create in the future. You can't create in the past. You can only creation happens in this present moment. So the sum total of all thoughts, and that the sum total of these thoughts are infinite, meaning there's no end to the thoughts. So that means that God continues, or source or life continue to unfold from its never-ending capacity, never-ending ability. And it's everywhere, and it has no limitations. It also said that what creation is It says only love creates. Only love creates. So here it is reinforcing the principle that God and love are synonymous, or that reality and love are synonymous, or that truth and love are synonymous, or whatever represents the ultimate for you, whatever represents the higher power for you, whatever that may be for you, whatever you name that, doesn't matter. But the reality that the source of all life, the source of all creation, its nature is love. And love creates, and only like itself. So here's another principle, that every seed, what? Produces after its own kind. That God or love or source or creation or the creator can only produce like him itself. It cannot produce any other way. There is no duality in reality. There's no duality in God. There's no duality in love. There's only the one. There's only oneness. And God or love or the creator or the father or whatever reference you make, when it extends itself, when it presents itself, it presents all that it is. So it can only present what it is, like itself. And so when you go back and you realize that that which was in the beginning, in which there is no beginning, only extended that which it is. In reality, that is all that there is. That's why the Course says that which is real cannot be threatened. That which the Creator creates cannot be changed or altered or threatened or destroyed. And so every thought of God, which is infinite in number, which is everywhere without limits, in which its nature is love, which can only create like itself. This is what creation is. It says all of creation has always been present and will always be present beyond time. So this which we have laid out as creation has always been present. You know, in scripture, there's a several of the Psalms talks about that which was in the beginning, now is, and forever shall be. That's what it's saying here. That all of creation has always been present, meaning it's here and it's now. Every thought of God is here and now. Every thought of God continue to be infinite. Every thought of God is everywhere and without limits. Every thought of God, every imagination of God has always been present, and it's always present, and it's present right now as you and I, we're here aware of being present in this moment, talking about this subject of what is creation. All the thoughts, all the ideas, all the infinite intelligence, which is endless, it's present with you and I right now, and we have access to that. We have access to that. And so creation suffers no loss. It remains as it always was, or it remained as it always is, because in reality, there is no was, there is no past, and there is no future. There's only the present. There's only this isness, this right now moment. And in this right now moment, all creation is present. That means that if you are present and you are aware, you are part of this creation. You are part of every thought of God. If you are here right now, listening to me, you are here because you are a part of every thought of God. You are a part of this infinite awareness. You are a part of this infinite source. You are a part of this present moment without limitation. You are a part of all that is created in love, that goes beyond time, beyond space, beyond form. We are beyond what the natural eye can see. We are beyond what the ears can hear, or what we could smell or taste or touch. We are beyond this sensual world. There is a reality that goes beyond this sensual world, and we are a part of that, and it is present right now. It's not something that we're journaling to, but it is what is right now present, and it's called creation. What else does it say about creation? We said that creation is forever and forever changeless and unalterable. The reality that creation is what? It's forever changeless and is forever unalterable. In other words, what happens in creation is unchangeable and is unalterable, even before and even after time. So what the Creator expressed in creation is changeless and formless. So if you're here present, your reality is that you are a changeless and formless being, that you remain as God what created you, because you are a part of creation. You are the center of creation, not as a body form, but as a formless being. This is your and my and all humanity's reality. And so, being changeless and unaltered, every thought of God has been given all power. Every idea or every imagination of God in creation has been given all power. So creation is what? Omnipotence. It's omnipotence. That means all the power that exists it exists in creation. It exists in every thought, every imagination that is given. Jesus said it this way. He said, all power has been given unto me in heaven and in earth as a creation of God. Therefore you go. Why? Because all power in heaven and earth has been given to you. Whether we are aware of it or not, that is the truth. The power to create has been given to us. And as long as you've been here in this three-dimensional world, you have been creating, whether you know it or not. Every experience, every relationship, every sensation, every thought, every idea, every imagination that you have embraced as your own has become your creation. And so because you are a part of the creation, that means that creation is a part of your nature. So you're always creating. You don't get to not create. It's like saying water don't get to be wet. That's impossible. Water and wet are the same. It's like saying fire don't get to burn. Well, that's impossible. So likewise, as a creation of God, we don't get not to create. We're always creating. Just look at your life. Look at the results in your life. Look at where you are in life. You are there as a result of your creation, as a result of your thoughts, as a result of your ideas, as a result of your imaginations that you said yes to, that you have gotten emotionally involved with. You cannot help but create. That is your nature. It is your nature to create. It is your nature to extend and to expand. We cannot help it. We cannot change it. We cannot alter it. It is a part of your DNA. And then we went on to say that not only is creation forever, changeless, and unalterable, and all power is given to every thought in creation, but we went on to say that love it is love that is added to by extension. So when we talk about creation from a timeless perspective, basically creation is extension. It's not taking something else and making something, but no, it's an extension of the one self that exists, or the one being, or the one source that exists. So true creation is the one source extending itself, or love extending itself. So true creation is extension. It's the extension of the same thing. It's extension of the same source, of the same nature. So there's nothing new. There's nothing added. It is the sameness being extended. So when God created like himself, he extended himself and he called himself I am, or he called what he extended creation. And that is our existence. That is our awareness. That is our consciousness. We don't get it from any other place other than the only one place that really exists, and that is in God, or in love, or in reality, or in the one source. We are not something separate. We are not separated. We are not divided. We are not isolated. The whole idea of separation is what has thrown us way out of alignment with our reality. No, we are the extension of the one thing. You are the extension of God. I am the extension of God. All humanity is the extension of God. And this extension and this creation took place before the foundation of this world. You're birthed into this world, or your awareness of a body being birthed into this world that you have identified as you or I, that is not your true self. That form allows you to play in this world, to express in this world. But it's not your identity. It allows you to discover you, the real you that loves you, and to express that in this three-dimensional world of form and time and limitation. They express the true nature of love, which you are. To express your true nature of being creative, which you are. To express your true nature of being infinite, which is what you are. To express your true nature of being eternal and immortal, which is what you are. It's what all humanity is. God's highest creation, God's highest extension, God extension of himself. And so we said that God's creation shares in his creation equally. That what God extends, what God creates, shares in that creation equally. That's what Jesus or Paul said over in Philippians 2, 5, and 6, that we need to allow the mind of Christ to be within us. And that mind of Christ thinks that it has equality with God, and we do. We have equality with one another, and we do. There are no levels in God. There are no levels in creation. There's only the one. And we all share in that oneness. We all share equally in the awareness, in the consciousness that God is. We all have the same freedom in this oneness. And so creation is oneness. It's not duality. There's no duality in reality. There's only oneness. And we all share that equally with each other and with our Creator. Not as something separate, but as something that is one. And so we said that creation is the opposite of all illusions. What are illusions? Illusions are only temporary expressions. Right? Anything that is made, all substance, all matter, all form is a temporary expression. It's not a representation of the timeless and formless nature of reality, but it's a temporary expression. Like your car is not you. Your house is not you. It's the house you live in. It's the car that you drive. Just like these bodies are not you. It's the body that you express yourself through in the world, but it's not you. I hope you catch this analogy. The birds, the trees, the grass, the skies, the moon, the stars, the water, the mountains, all the objective world, the computer, that screen that you may be looking at, your cell phone, your pen, just look around you, all the objective things around you, all the things that are in form. They are only temporary expressions. They are not of the nature of the source. But it is the source that gave way to the expression of form. So your body and your body self and your body experience is not your identification. If you think that, then you are in an identity crisis, because who you are has no limits. Who you are is eternal. It has no beginning and no end. But everything about your body is a temporary expression. It has a beginning, it has a birth date, and it has an end date. It has limitations. It has a lot of needs. Who you are in reality, you have no needs. You have need of nothing. Why? Because you have everything. But in this three-dimensional world, right? This world of limitation, this world of form, this world is an illusion. And that's not a bad word. It's just, we just have made a decision to go on a prodigal journey to experience something other than our pure self. Because when you come here, you're going to experience something other than your pure real self. You're going to experience anxiety and fear and limitation. You're going to experience, the illusionary world, the world of form. You're going to experience humanity, which is all temporary. To be here, you have to engage in the temporary. But the goal of being here in the temporary is to discover the eternal and wake up to the eternal, right? And now express the light and the love that you are, even in the temporary. And so we said that all things that are opposite, all opposites, because in reality, there is no opposite. In love, there is no opposite in love. There is no opposition in love. There's only oneness. And anything that would display a different nature, it's an illusion. It's temporary. It's only a temporary experience. It's only a protocol. It's a belief in separation, or it's an idea of separation that we get to play with. We even get to play with the fact that we're separate from one another. We get to play with the fact that we're these entities on an island on our own, that we're separate from God. We get to play with the fact that, no, we're something other than what God created. We get to play with that. But that doesn't make us happy. That doesn't make us fulfilled. In fact, it can become depressing to have lost awareness of your true identity and to believe in sickness and disease and lack and scarcity and death and birth and all the other things that this temporary world will allow you to experience. What the belief in separation will allow you to experience. It seems fun at first, right? But then when our true nature kicks in, when our true awareness kicks in, and we know something is not quite right. It says that creation is truth. It's the only reality there is. God is our only reality. We said that creation is the holy sonship. Creation is the Christ, which represents our oneness. It represents the one thing that God created. Creation is humanity in form. It says that oneness is forever guaranteed not to be violated. Our oneness is guaranteed not to be violated. That none of our human experiences can alter or change our reality. That's what that means. That we are a fixed being. That we are predestined, as the scripture says. That it was predetermined before the foundation of the world that our oneness will remain intact. That's why Jesus said, all that you've given to me, I have lost nothing. He said that I and the Father are one. He says that as I have been glorified, as I have been crowned with glory and honor, so have they. Because nothing can be altered or changed. Love remained as it was created. You remain as you were created. So when God could swear by no greater, he swore by himself that we are the unchangeable. We are the unalterable. We are the ultimate. They said that BMW is the ultimate driving machine. No. Who you are in reality, who you are in creation, you are the ultimate. It doesn't get any better than you. It doesn't get any higher than you. You are God's highest creation. You are God's only creation. And everything else that is in form came after God's extension of you. Nothing came in form before you. Nothing was created before you. And nothing was created before God, because there's no beginning. That means there's no beginning to you. That means you were with him from the beginning, or with her, or with it from the beginning. And you cannot find a place where God began. There's no one older than God. So don't rack your brain about trying to figure it out in your head. You cannot. It give you a headache. It is beyond the natural thinking. It can only be experienced by accepting. We call it faith. So we are forever guaranteed to remain the holy creations of God. So that means as much as God is holy, so are we. There's no difference. There's not a God holiness and a your holiness, but it's only the one holiness that we all share. And then we said, it is impossible for creation to be harmed, separated, or made to be imperfect. Because we are the creation of God, that means that you and I are harmless. We are impregnable. We're not vulnerable. We're invulnerable. We cannot be threatened. Who we are in reality cannot be threatened. That which is real cannot be threatened, as the Course says. We cannot be separated. So separation is not an idea of God. It's an imagination of a mind that believes that it has separated itself from its source. It's an insane thought. Harm is an insane thought. Death, birth is an insane thought. Sickness and disease and lack and poverty, it's an insane thought. Separation is an insane thought. Imperfection is an insane thought in the grand scheme of reality. So you are and have always been and will always be spotless, sinless, and guiltless. That has never been altered. It has never been threatened. Only in dreams, only in imagination, only in vain imaginings, only in fantasies that one get to experience the low vibration of these things. And that's only a temporary experience, but it doesn't change anything. So the world labeling you and calling you, and religion labeling you and calling you a sinner, filthy rags, nothingness, deserving of punishment, that doesn't change anything. Those ideas come from a not knowing, and it comes from fear-based theology. And it has ruled the world for many thousands of years. But now, the acknowledgement and the awareness of our oneness with our Creator is vastly expanding throughout the globe, and people are waking up to their true reality. We're coming out. Humanity is coming out of this identity crisis that we've been in, and discovering our true self, which here at Truly Foundation we call the real you, which loves you, Why? Because the real you is love. The real you is God. The real you is creation. And so we summed up our talk on what is creation by this last point, which we said we are creation. And creation is you. You are creation, and creation is you. What God did, what God created, what God extended is you. And it is now that all that God extended, God is calling back unto himself. And all of life has demonstrated this. All of the history of humanity has demonstrated that God is calling his creation back into himself. Not that his creation ever left himself, but the creation itself, almost like it took on a mind of its own and say, oh, I'm something separate. I'm something different. I'm something divided. I'm something limited. I'm something weak. I'm something that is born. I'm something that dies. I'm something that is scarcity. I'm something that gets sick. I'm something that has anxiety. I'm something that has, what the word that is used, the concept that is used. I'm an addicted person. I have an addiction. All of this is ideas of being asleep and separate and going astray and going on a long journey, going on a prodigal journey. But when you wake up from that hallucination, from that sleep, from that vain imagining, and realize that you've been on a journey without a distance, that you have not changed one iota about your reality, that you have not changed or altered anything about what God created, that you remain as God created you, as a thought of God, and that you are creation. And that God has reconciled all things back into himself. Why? Because all things is himself, including you. And so we concluded in our study on what is creation, is that creation is you. That you are God's only creation. God is your only reality. And to think any way contrary to that, is to think foolishly, is to think or to lower yourself, to bring yourself in a very low vibration of awareness, of consciousness, of thinking. That only creates the suffering that humanity has suffered. It comes from wrong thinking. And so this entire year and several months that we've been bringing these lessons from A Course in Miracles are all designed to renew and transform our thinking, so that we can embrace Christ's vision, so that we can embrace the mind of Christ, so that we can embrace our equality with each other and our Creator, so we can think right-mindedly. So that is like a summation of our lesson on what is creation. Creation is you. Creation is every thought of God. And you and I and all humanity is a thought of God. And what God is still thinking. Love is still creating like itself. Our oneness remain intact. There can be no loss suffered. Nobody's going to be lost. What do you mean? No one can be lost. We cannot undo what God did. We cannot undo what the Creator did. You can't change your holiness. You can't change your innocence. You can't change your infinite self. You can only dream of it, but you can't change it. It's like, when the You go down to the coast and you see the waves constantly coming into the ocean, shore, coming into the shore. And it appears that the waves are going to what? Separate themselves from the ocean, only to see that what? They come in all with these big or small or mid-sized expression. They come in and they bounce on the shore, but what? They go right back into what? They go right back into the ocean. They come like they're gonna break away from the ocean, but then they go back into the ocean. You look up at the sun and you see the sun rays or the sun beams that extend. Those rays or beams appear like they're going to what? Become these individual separated existence from the sun. But the next time you look, what? Those beams are what? Those rays have what? Gone back up into the sun. Why? Because they are only a temporary expression. And that temporary expression still has all the attributes of the source of the expression. So is your life. So is the 8+ billion people that are currently on this planet. So has been all of humanity that has appeared on these planets in these unique expressions. We come here like we're these separate things, like we're it. You can't tell me what to do, where to go, where to be. I do that myself. I'm individual. I'm separate from you. I'm my own man. I'm my own woman. I mean, this has been going on from day one. Only to find out that there's a beginning and an end to that expression. That body, it, like you say, it goes back into the what? Dust of the earth. So in the same manner as we come here, as these, what we call having these human experience, they're only temporary. It's not the real McCoy. But what goes back up into the source of the life. Because when the life leaves the body doesn't have no animation at all. It is donut, like they say, donut dead. Why? Because the life that was animating the body, the mind that was animating the body, the spirit that was animating the body, it's no longer animating the body. And now the body, what? It's useless. It's useless. Thank God that's not who we are, the useless body. That's why it's kind of comical to me now. Well, I'm not going there. But likewise, that which animated the body, what? It goes back into the source, which is you, the real you. The timeless and formless you. The you that gave energy and animation to that body. Just like your clothes downstairs. Think about your clothes downstairs or upstairs or around the corner. You gotta hang it in the closet or fold it in your drawers. They have no life. They're just there, laying or hanging. There is no life. There is no movement. But the moment you step into a pair of pants or a dress or whatever, it begins to what? Move. Why? Because it's been animated by a source. And that source we can call creation or the cause. This is who we are. This is who we are. We are not the pants or the shoes or the shirt or the hat. That's form. We're the formless. We're the energy that is provided to the hat, the shoes, the socks, the coat, the tie, the dress. Do you see the illustration here? We are that one energy, that one source, that one creation that energizes all things, that gives energy to all life. We are the life. We are that abundant life. Jesus said that he came that we may recognize this life and recognize that this life more abundantly, that we are the life, the source of it. We are one with the creation of it. And so we've all been called back to this awareness. We've been all called back to this recognition. It's called enlightenment. It's called awakening. It's called what the new birth. We call it many things, but it's the same thing. And so today's lesson is lesson 321. And now that I laid that huge foundation, we're just going to read through this and we're going home. It's going to make a lot of sense. So lesson 321, the idea for today is Father, meaning source or creator or God or supreme or universe, whatever you use, doesn't matter. Or higher power. Father, my freedom or our freedom is in you alone. What is freedom? It is the knowing that we are the creation of God. That's what freedom is. We're not free. No one's free. Nothing in form can make you free. The only thing that can bring you face to face with freedom, true freedom, is the knowing of yourself as one with Creator, that you are the creation of God, that you are every thought of God, that you are infinite, that you are everywhere present and without limit, that you are love, that you are everywhere present, you are beyond time, that you suffer no loss, that you remain as God created you, that you are forever and forever, changeless and unalterable, before and after time, that every thought of God is supported by all the power of God. That's why you're able to create. That's why even if we are creating things that we don't like, or we're creating things that are not constructive, we're still creating, because all power has been given unto us in heaven and to earth. And if we don't understand the creation process, we will be miscreating things that we don't like, creating relationships, creating ideas, creating scenarios that we don't like. And so that is what true freedom is. It is the knowing that our Creator is not something separate, but it's who we are. And that our freedom is in the knowing of that creation process, that creation of our oneness, and it's in the knowing of that alone. Therein lies your freedom. Knowing of yourself, to know thyself, to know that you're one with all life, with all humanity, that you're one with your Creator, and that it cannot be threatened, that you're impregnable, that you are eternal, that you are infinite, boundless, timeless, formless, having access to all the infinite intelligence that there is. How do you think we created all these gadgets and devices and all of the things that have been created in the world that has benefited us, that has added to our comfort? It comes through the mind of God. It comes through the infinite intelligence of the one source that we share. And so we did not understand what made us free. We were seeking freedom in all the wrong places, from the government, from religion, from our family, our community, our nation, our race, our politics. We have sought freedom in our businesses and our jobs and our careers, and from corporate. We have sought freedoms in all these places, never to be able to really experience what true freedom is until until we discovered our true reality. So we did not understand what made us free, nor what our freedom is, nor where to look for it. We have searched in vain until we heard the voice that speaks for God directing us. Now we would guide ourselves no more. Why? Because we've heard the voice of truth. What we share with you about what is creation, that is the voice of truth. That's the acknowledgement of your true identity. So now we know where our true freedom lies. It is in the knowing of our true self. Knowing what creation really is, that we are creation. We are the creation of God. We are every thought of God. For we have neither made nor understood the way to find our freedom. But we trust in you. We trust in our reality. We trust in our Creator. We trust in our God. We trust in our reality. We trust in love. You who endowed us with our freedom as your holy creation will not be lost to us. It's impossible. Your voice directs us, and the way to you is opening and clear to us at last. When you wake up, clarity, awareness, expansion that was always present becomes conscious to you. It was always here. Who you were has never changed. Who God is has never changed. It was always present. The presence of God is everywhere. It's everywhere present. It's right now present, everywhere. All of creation is present right now. It can only be present right now. It's not in the future. It's not in the past. It's only in this present moment. So your voice directs us, and the way to you is opening and clear. Our freedom is in you alone. Father, it is my will. It is our will that we return to the home that we never left. Because in reality, we remain where God created us. We remain what God created us. In this dream of a life of separation, this dream of an illusion of being temporary, of having lack and being sick and full of fear and separate. It dissipates in the face of truth. And now we can see what we can see clearly now, that what the rain has gone. All of the illusions have gone. Our freedom is in God and God alone. Our life is in God and God alone. And it's not a separate life or a separate experience, but it's the one life that we have always and will always share. It's the one being, the one self that we share with God and with each other. And so today we answer for the entire world, which will be freed along with us. How glad are we to find our freedom through the certain way our Father has established. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be found in God, in love, in reality, in truth. only. God is our reality. We are God's creation. We are every thought of God. And therein lies our freedom. Therein lies our peace of mind. Therein lies our joy and happiness and fulfillment. I and the Father are one. When you've seen me, you have seen the Father. That's what Jesus said. And he said it for you and me. And now it's time for you to stand up and say it for yourself. To put your big boy and big girl pants on and say, hey, I'm the creation of God. And that can't be changed, not even by me. So that's lesson 231. Thank you so much for being with us today. 221. Thank you for being with us today. And thank you for the love that we share. Thank you that our freedom is really in God and in God alone. And that we let the whole world go free. Because we no longer are seeking and searching for our freedom. We have found it. We have found it in our identity. And we embrace this self that we are, that is infinite, impersonal, and self-aware. Just like our Creator. And so we have it all. And so we give it all. And so go forth today in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no man evil. Strengthen those who are faint in heart. And support the weak. Those that are weak in mind. Those who are still searching for themselves. Those who are looking for their freedom. So support the weak. That's your brother. That's you when you were asleep. Honor all men. Love and serve. Love only. Love and serve. Reality only. Why? Because in reality is all power given unto us. And rejoice. And again, I say rejoice. Have a great day. We'll be back on tomorrow. Selah.